Every few years, I like to do a little holiday gift guide, and it's more for non-woodworkers out there. Those that are kind of shopping for a woodworker and want to get them something they'll actually use so you don't feel like you're throwing your money away, which in times like this, that's really important. I'll put a list of past years down below in the comments, but this year I'm taking a little bit different. I'm kind of trying to give you ideas for those of y'all shopping on a little bit of an extreme budget. And if you are a woodworker, maybe give some more budget ideas of good quality gifts that you would enjoy getting down in the comments below. So let's get started with our first budget gift for a woodworker. It is shocking how useful blue tape is around a woodworking shop. In fact, $1 million product idea, I think they ought to come out with blue tapes of various thicknesses, of various stretchability for just craft people to use. But, blue tape, or painter's tape, so to speak, I'm using it on fine. In fact, on my back wall over the years, you've probably seen a little stick where I keep several rolls readily available. Well, this past year, I was wandering around a used office supply place, and I came across an old, really heavy tape dispenser. And I bought it, just thought that might be kind of useful. This has been so useful this year. I love the fact that at any time I can just reach over, grab a piece, it's not going to move anywhere, and stretch it around. I don't have to go find it, rip it off. It's really convenient. And once again, I bought this used at an office supply place. So they are readily available all over the area. Probably garage sales, stuff like that. Just get one that's really heavy, because us woodworkers, we're not wanting to use it two-handed. We don't want to have to hold it. Just pull and go. This next one might seem kind of obvious, and there's a good chance your woodworker might already have one, but you would be shocked at how few do in their woodworking shop, or even, if they got a toolbox. And that's a pencil sharpener. A good, solid, all-metal, resharpenable pencil sharpener. Get one, with a good wheels and stuff like that, that they can rebuild for their entire life. One with a handle so that you don't have to worry about whether the batteries are died, if it's like that. And just tell them it's perfect for your wall. I know, as experienced as my dad was with the woodworking, he was in shock how convenient it was to have a pencil sharpener bolted to the wall next to his lathe after he saw mine. And once again, they're available everywhere. Just get a heavy duty one. Vintage would be even cooler. And if you want to be even cooler than that, grab yourself a paint pen and decorate it. Another really useful addition to any workshop, especially those that are using power tools, are magnets. Little magnets like this, or the kind that you can lock on. These work great on my table saw as a stop, even on the bandsaw as a fence. Having something that I can just put other tools on. I use this one. This is another locking version right here as a camera stand of all things. But if you look at just about any metal tool I have, you are going to find magnets there set aside just to hold the accessories that go with all these things. In today's workshop, it's almost as if you can't have too many magnets. They're readily available all over the place. Most of them are fairly expensive, though I will say these locking kind ones can get up there in price, but you can find deals. They go on sale a lot. Next up is pocketbooks, little quick reference items. If you have a general DIY contractor, hey, maybe get him one on the building codes, $8, $9, a little plastic trifold. If you want to step it up a little bit of a notch, Lost Art Press has an entire series of these little pocket books. I highly recommended a wound care one just to stick in their medicine box. I recommended this on another video. Hopefully they never have to read it. But here's one. It's surprising how often I'm perusing through this thing, just refreshing my memory from old geometry classes, that kind of stuff. And it's just a little woodworking pocket book, gives you a little notes section, but lots of geometry, information about tools, that kind of stuff. It just kind of keeps everything in your mind. And I hate to say it, I keep this one in the restroom. Now, I've extolled the virtues of these Mora 106 and 120 Sloyd knives for years. You've heard me time and time again. You can never really have too many of these, and they're very, very inexpensive. But that's not what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about the sheaths that they come with. They really do suck. If you have a woodworker that has any favorite tool, whether it is a knife, marking knife, whatever, consider getting a sheath. Either buying one, having one made. They are really not hard. Anybody could make one with a little thread and an X-Acto knife and some leather, scrap leather. But they're really, really nice, and they will kind of be a sentimental item because it's something that they will probably use all the time with one of their more commonly made tools. If it's a tool that goes in their tool bag, get one that doesn't have a little belt clip or anything like that, so that just something to protect it that they can just toss in there. But I got this one a couple years ago, and I cannot believe how convenient it is. It's one that has a little belt clip on it, and I just drilled a screw through it, so I have a place to keep my knife on my tool wall. And I use this. This is probably my most used one for doing bevels and that kind of stuff. So getting a nice sheath, whether you make it, you buy it, you can buy pre-made ones for less than 20 bucks. I think $15 was what this one's going for now. Yeah, really nice and something I'll use all the time. And speaking of knives, you can never go wrong with just giving them a nice pocket knife. And you don't have to spend a lot of money on a nice one. If they're an outdoorsman, especially from my generation, Buck 110. It is a classic knife they will use for, these are lifetime tools that a lot of times people pass on in their families. A little bit heavy. Again, it's a little bit older style, but for my generation, this is just kind of cool, and pretty much everyone knows what a Buck 110 is. But if you have something that's a little bit more modern, or you want something a little bit smaller to carry every single day, this past year I picked up another Buck knife. It was just really inexpensive. I liked it because when I held it, it was really kind of thin, but it didn't feel chintzy out there. This is called a Spitfire. And I originally got the small one, and I liked it so much, I got the bigger one. And both of these are around 40. Sometimes they'll go up to $50 if you don't get them on sale right now. But they're just nice and small. I don't use the big one. The big one's kind of substitute for that 110 I had over here. But this has just become an everyday carry. Now, it wasn't perfect out of the box because it is a little bit on the less expensive side for a quality knife. A lot of the machining, it was a little bit sharp, so I just took some sandpaper, rounded it over, and it became perfect. And it just flips out, it locks. You have to use two hands to unlock it, but it just came across as the perfect size for me as an everyday carry. A little Spitfire Mini, I can attest it'd be a good value, one that just about any woodworker or craftsman of any type would appreciate. Again, this is an everyday carry for me. And sticking with the cutting aspect of your gift ideas, a good quality set of shears, and go used. I think they would be more appreciated to a lot of woodworkers getting a vintage set that you probably spent $5-10 at garage store for, and if you have a little bit of time you can restore them, but this might be something that they might like to restore. But once again, you would be shocked at how useful a set of shears is in the shop, and get the kind that you can kind of rest and work across. I forget what these are called, but they're tailors use them. And as stupid as this sounds, a nice quality glue bottle is really appreciated. And here's a tool that they probably have a version of somewhere in the shop. I'd be surprised if they didn't, but more than likely their version is so poor quality it doesn't work properly. I'm talking about screwdrivers. Get them a good set of gunsmith screwdrivers. These are from Grace USA, and they're different from others in that, can you see that right there? The tip is ground flat. The thing is, they're designed to work with slotted screws. And people tend to hate slotted screws because the screwdrivers don't work with them very well because the ones they're using aren't designed to. If you get a good screwdriver that's designed to work with the screw you're using, It's super easy. They're not going to cam out on you. You can get a lot of torque, and it will be more period correct. People don't like slotted screwdrivers just because they don't have the tool that works with them. Go ahead and get your Woodworker set. You really only need 3. My suggestion is, you get 3, you get a set of screws that works with them, you're set for life. You don't have to question, do I have the right screw? Just use the ones you got. It'll actually save you money in the long run. Now the final slot in this 10 tool list, and I will give you a bonus at the end, is a little bit self-serving. It's the 2 tools that I came out with this year to market to y'all to kind of help subsidize this channel. And that is my general purpose bench mallet, one that I designed ergonomically so it works 3 different ways, and it's one that you don't have to grip and hold on to. You would be surprised at how sore your forearm and wrist comes at after a long day of chopping, the dovetails for a carcass or something like that. This is one that kind of alleviates a lot of that. It's a luxury item, but it's one that they'll use pretty much on every project. And the other one was something that you don't see out there very often. I call it the MakePretty, and it's kind of a 4-way way to hold disposable sandpaper. It's just a true convenience item that will probably touch every single woodworking project you make. I know it does mine, almost all of them, in some way or the other. Those are the 2 products I brought out this year to help subsidize this channel. So how about that bonus? Stocking stuffers. You want great ideas? An old jar full of popsicle sticks. You can buy a box of popsicle sticks really, really cheap. You would be surprised at how useful they are, especially for applying and cleaning up glue. Because even though the popsicle stick you think you could only use once, well, you just take your pocket knife, whittle off, and you have a sharp edge to do all that kind of stuff. Same principle kind of works with these paint stir sticks. I bought a box of like 500 of them maybe 10 years ago. I'm still using them all the time. It's like you use it, you set it aside, you cut on it, you use it again. One of them goes a long way. You can never have too many gloves to protect your hands. If you don't like them coming into the kitchen with all dirty fingernails and that kind of stuff, this will save you. All of us like disposable paint brushes. And here's something unusual. Consider getting them some syringes. Filling it with glue makes really delicate applications of it. I know on the lathe, I fill one up with walnut oil. Because I can, if I'm applying something on the lathe, I can just use one hand to squirt a drop or 2 and spread it around as the lathe is going. It works great. And syringes are cheap and they come in all different sizes. You just buy a big box and I'll use it for years. So stocking stuffers are cheap and you can get a lot of different items, put them in a nice little gift bag, and they'll actually use that kind of stuff. So there you go. 10 plus, gift ideas for the woodworker, maker, DIYer in your life that won't break the bank and will let you spend a little bit more money on the kids. Y'all be safe, have fun. I hope you learned a few things. And if you have other ideas, leave those down in the comments below. Have fun.